Hello, my name is Dr. Ashley Danley-Thomson. I am an assistant professor at Florida Gulf Coast University. And at Florida Gulf Coast University, I teach several classes. I teach solid waste management, I teach wastewater microbiology, senior design, sustainability, and I also do research. So my research thus far at FGCU has focused on international development, on wastewater technologies, and on solid waste management. So my work with the Hinkley Center under this grant that I've been working on has focused on how leachate may affect biological nitrogen removal and wastewater treatment. So this research is important because when a wastewater treatment plant decides to receive leachate into their system, that leachate can have effects on their biological nutrient removal process. So that means that we could see higher ammonium levels in the effluent, or just total inorganic nitrogen removals in the effluent. We could see higher COD levels in the effluent. And so the question that we've been addressing is how can microbes in the wastewater treatment process be adapted to leachate so that they can possibly handle higher loads, or so that we can minimize disruptions when accepting leachate. I originally got interested in solid waste management when I was an undergraduate student at Florida State University. I worked as a research assistant with Dr. Abichu, who was at the time working on a Hinkley Center grant studying best management practices with landfill gas. So I got to work on that as an undergraduate student, and that was really my first exposure to solid waste management and really piqued my interest in the area. After undergraduate at Florida State University, I went on to graduate school, and my expertise in wastewater treatment, microbiology, biotechnology really developed. So this work with the Hinkley Center has been really fun for me because it's really an intersection of my expertise in wastewater treatment and this interest in solid waste management that I've had for a really long time. The Hinkley Center funds research in solid and hazardous waste in Florida for Florida universities. And as part of the program, each research project has a technical advisory group, which is part of, advising the PI on the direction of the research, providing feedback on findings in the research, and just helping to develop the project as a whole. So I think that the accountability and the exchange of ideas with the TAG, the Technical Advisory Group, has been really helpful, and it allows information to be disseminated very quickly. So the PI is finding, the scientific findings and disseminating that immediately into the field, and I think that that's been really helpful. So the name of my study is Determining the Effects of Class 1 Landfill Leachate on Biological Nutrient Removal. And the most exciting thing that we've discovered is that activated sludge can be adapted to loadings of landfill leachate to the extent that if it's loaded with a shock load or a loading of much higher than it is normally loaded with, it can handle that loading better than if it had never been adapted to leachate before, or if it had never seen leachate before. So basically what we found is, for example, we had sequencing batch reactors that were adapted to loadings of 5%, 10%, 15%, volume to volume, with leachate and synthetic wastewater. When we loaded those with a 30% leachate loading, which is very high, those reactors had better chemical oxygen demand removal and nitrogen removal than reactors that had never been exposed to leachate before. The Hinkley Center is a statewide research center that provides leadership in the area of solid waste management. So the importance of the partnership between our research group, Florida Gulf Coast University, the Hinkley Center, and the Florida Department of Environmental Protection, I think the greatest importance of that is the level of communication that happens between these entities. So, we're conducting research, and that research is disseminated very quickly to the community via our technical advisory group. And the Hinkley Center is kind of the leader in all of this, and they receive their funding from the Florida Department of Environmental Protection. So this partnership really allows a lot of information to be disseminated, discovered and then disseminated very quickly. The Hinkley Center is important to me because it provides an opportunity for undergraduates at Florida Gulf Coast University to really get involved in the solid waste industry early in their college careers. I think this is really significant because generally, I think that most students focus on water and wastewater, and that solid waste is just generally kind of under represented. And so it's just very exciting for these students to have this exposure and this experience so young in their college careers, and that might influence them to go into the field when they graduate.